I'm back. Ciao everyone, it's Luna here, finally back with another episode of Cosa, Dici. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the traditional Italian holiday pastime of la tombola. Have you ever heard of tombola? Well, what we can say is that it is a game that is similar to bingo. So hopefully that gives you an idea, right, that it involves number calling and cards, number matching in order to win a prize. And although tombola and bingo are very similar, there are many differences. And before we break down the game of tombola, looking at the rules and traditions, let's take a look at its origin. Tombola was invented all the way back in the 1700s in the Kingdom of Naples, when the King of Naples and a member of the clergy had a heated debate over the game of lotto that was being played in the kingdom. The end result was to suspend this game playing over the holidays, specifically over Christmas time, as it was considered a distraction from prayer. Now, the people did not agree with this decision and decided to come up with their own game that was similar to that of lotto. Using the same numbers that are used in the lottery, from 1 to 90, the people came up with their own fun game to play over the holidays. And this game would become the tombola that is still played today. So what they did was they took the numbers from 1 to 90 and stamped them on small wooden discs. So these numbers, I numeri, would be used during the game and would be called out during the game. They are traditionally stored in a small basket, which will allow the person to shake them up before choosing a number to call. This basket is traditionally called il panariello. Next, they created the cards, le cartelle, the sheets that each person has who is participating in the game. Now in tombola, you can have one or more of these, unlike in bingo. And the numbers are scattered randomly across this card that has 3 rows. The numbers aren't all next to each other, but in fact there are gaps, which makes it harder to get numbers in a row, which gives more playtime. Lastly, we have il tabellone, the large card that has all the numbers from 1 to 90, which is used by the person who calls the numbers during the game. Now, the fun aspect that was added to this new game invented by the Neapolitans is the idea that each number is tied to a saying and an image. So now when each number is called, there is a little saying or an image or person or object that is tied to that number. For example, in the game of tombola, if I were to call out number 47, I would say 47, il morto. Il morto meaning the dead man. So the game overall is very fun, and the rules are pretty simple. There is a person who has il tabellone, and that person will call I numeri, the numbers. As the numbers are called, the other players who have one or more of the cartelle will check to see if they have any of those numbers. And if they do, just like in bingo, they will cover that number. Traditionally, people would use whatever they had around the house to cover those numbers. Anything from lentils to dry pasta to beans. Now, the other fun part of tombola is that there are more chances to win prizes or money. When each player in the game chooses their cartelle, which they can have one or more of, they put in money into the pot. So they're almost purchasing their cartelle. That pot then is distributed over the different prizes. Now, traditionally, the amount of money that's put in is very small. It's more symbolic than anything. And you could also play for prizes instead of money. Now, the final big difference between Tombola and bingo is the amount of chances to win. In bingo, you can win or yell bingo when you get 5 numbers in a row on your card, whether that's vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. In Tombola, instead, you can win when you have 2 numbers in a row, 3, 4, 5, or even when you fill your entire cartella. Now, the important difference here is that the numbers have to be in the same row, across horizontally. Each of these prizes has a name. When you win 2 numbers in a row, it's called ambo. When it's 3 numbers in a row, it's called terno. Then we have, for 4 numbers, quaterna. For 5 numbers across on the same row, cinquina. And finally, if you fill your entire cartella, you can call out tombola. Now, just like bingo, Tombola has become a very, very popular game. There are online versions, there are tournaments, and so many other ways to play. But the tradition still stands of playing with your family during the holidays. And of course, while we play Tombola, we get to have pandoro, panettone, torrone, and many of the wonderful Italian holiday desserts, which of course is my favorite part. So, that's the story and the rules of Tombola, a fun traditional Italian holiday game. But what's even more fun is that this year at Collina Italiana, we are having a wonderful evening of Tombola with everyone in the Collina Italiana community. So come give it a shot and play Tombola for yourself with all of us at Collina Italiana while we have some prosecco and some really delicious Italian desserts. And you can play to win prizes as well. We hope to see you all there, but I'll see you in the next video. Alla prossima! Ciao! What are you saying?